Hey, welcome to the Dive Bar Comedy Podcast. You're in for a real treat today and next week. We are in for a special two-parter at the Lotus Lounge. You've heard us talk a lot about the Lotus Lounge, and we are back with some fun comics, great conversations. And next week in part 2, we even get into a bit of a bar fight. So stay tuned and make sure you listen to both parts. And also, if you're in the LA area, please check us out live. Come to one of our shows. We're doing the live taping of the Dive Bar Comedy Podcast at GT's Comedy Jam. We've got 2 shows in December.
Yeah, we have one Saturday, December 1st, 8:30 p.m. at Schoonerville. It's on 8901 DeSoto Avenue in Canoga Park. It's coming up on Saturday, December 1st, which is this Saturday. And then we have another one December 27th. That's 8 p.m. at the Universal Bar and Grill at Studio City. And it's right across the street from North Hollywood Toyota. So we got 2 shows in December. It's going to be, like I said, we're only doing dive bars right now. And that's what it's about, Dive Bar Comedy Podcast. We try to do dive bars and visit a lot of dive bars and also push our vodka, Global Vodka. It's premium grade vodka. And when you're there, order Global Vodka. It's helping our cause. It's helping GT's Comedy Jam. It's helping Global Vodka. It's helping Dive Bar Comedy Podcast. And thanks for everybody for listening. And really appreciate it.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, girl?
It's me, Wild Joe. I'm here with GT. We are at the Lotus Lounge, which our regular listeners have probably heard a lot about. Right, GT?
The Lotus Lounge. This is the place where Dive Bar Comedy started. This was the place where gave us the whole idea of Dive Bar Comedy. This was the real feel of Dive Bar. That's what gave us the idea of really getting it all started. This is where it all started.
Well, this wasn't the first place that we did shows, but yeah, it definitely has the diviest dive bar feel. And I don't mean that to say it's like a shithole or anything like that. It just has like a really great alcoholic bar patronage that's here every week. They heckle. They don't care. They shout out. They get drunk. There's a drunk owner. There's a pool table. There was a poster of like an underage young girl practically naked on the wall, but they've remodeled now. They've painted everything blue, and they took away the poster. I don't know how it's going to be tonight.
Yeah, they remodeled by painting the place.
And they lost the poster. They lost that poster. That was like a big conversation piece.
They added some lights, Christmas kind of looking lights, and a TV, a couple more TVs, and
looks like
here and there.
Looks like they repaired some of the bar stools, the cracks. Oh no, they didn't. There's still cracks in the pleather on the bar stools, as often happens with pleather bar stools.
Yeah, I can't wait to interview some of the hecklers here. That's what I want to interview.
And the owner is a very special lady. Her name is Svetlana. She's Asian, but she won't tell us which country she's from. I'm guessing maybe Vietnamese. And she always feels free to shout out at any comics, especially the ones she doesn't like.
Yeah, she actually drove. She got into a face-to-face fight with some comedians. Not one, not two, but a whole bunch of them. She would if they don't buy a drink or Coke, something, they're out. They are out. She don't want no broke comics. Period.
Well, there's only about 20 spots in this bar, so I don't think they should be wasting bar stools on people that don't pay. I mean, I understand if you own this place, you want to make money.
She's a pit bull, that's for sure. I would say she's out there, man. She's like a little older female pit bull. She's not afraid to get into comics' faces, and she's a little Asian pit bull, that's for sure.
And the nice thing about this place, besides it being in a great neighborhood, it's here in East Hollywood, right in the heart of Hollywood. They let you post your big banner up, leave it up all year round that advertises your show, your GT's Comedy Jam banner. Can you tell us a little bit about the banner and what happened?
Well, when I left this place, because we had an incident with the comedians just hanging outside, not really doing anything, not supporting the place, and she got into a fight with the comedians. And my banner was out there, and she said, I want you to remove your banner. And it took me a couple of weeks to bring it down.
Wait, I thought you said a comic ripped it down.
I don't know. Maybe some comic ripped it down. She doesn't know what happened to it. She doesn't know. It just disappeared all of a sudden.
She told you to take it down, though.
She didn't tell me to take it down. I came over to take it down, but it wasn't there.
Well, that's too bad. That was a real loss because it's not cheap to get big banners printed. I mean, that costs at least $100. And it was nice vinyl material and very big and prominent right here on this is Western Boulevard, Western Avenue. What street are we on right now, GT?
We're on Vermont near Santa Monica, half a block north of Santa Monica. We're at Lotus Lounge, across the street from Hollywood Hotel.
Yeah, this is a really, really great location. I'm surprised there's not more people here, but the people who are here are very serious about drinking, so I guess that's how they make their money is through selling a lot of drinks to a very few people.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know how much money they make because I don't see a lot of people here right now.
Well, they cater to those regulars, so those people who are super, super drunk and here every day, they got to keep those people happy. They're more important to the bar than those comics that come in and just buy one drink, if that. And so if it comes down to it between a drunk heckler and a comic, the owner of this place is going to take the side of the heckler because that's where her money comes from.
Yeah, she used to defend a heckler, I guess. But another thing, a lot of comics. When I used to book comics before, I used to try to book my friends and stuff like that. I realized they're treating this show like it's an open mic. It's not an open mic. It's a booked show. You get on a poster, you get on a flyer, and we pay money for all that. And we expect you to show up, support the place, hopefully bring some audience, and even though it's a dive bar.
Yeah, I mean, we're providing entertainment, but, a lot of these bar patrons, they really don't care about hearing comedy. They're just here to drink, maybe watch sports, listen to the jukebox. So, we got to bring our own audience or else we're just performing for an empty room, the people that don't even want to see comics. It's no fun just performing for other comics.
Yeah, comics are usually, they know your jokes. They've seen you a million times, and because you're out there every day, you're doing comedy, 3 or 4 plays. Some comics are out there doing 3 or 4 spots a day. So 3 or 4 mics a day. So everybody knows your comedy. Even if you had some new comedy that you just wrote like a month ago, you're still working on that set. You're still working on the tags. You're still working on the setup. You're still working on, see if it's funny or not. People know your jokes. The comics already know your jokes, and they're opinionated. And a lot of them, they don't even feel like laughing because they laughed already a couple of times to it. I'm not going to laugh to that joke anymore because I know it was funny back then. Now it's not funny anymore because I heard it way too many times.
Yeah, not only that, but they're too busy preparing for their set. They're busy taking notes, probably stealing your jokes, God knows what. And they're not even paying attention to what people are talking about on stage. They're not even listening.
Exactly. They're too busy going through their lines and hanging outside because they're all nervous themselves because they're about to go up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You got to do it a lot. You got to do it over and over before you can get over the nerves and just feel cool and confident going on stage. You recognize any of these guys at the bar here, GT?
Few of them.
Is that big guy that pushed Mista See?
Yeah, that's the big guy right there.
That's the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
All right. Well, maybe we'll have a rematch of that large heckler that we had here last time who almost got in a fight with one of the comics. It was the comic that kind of, I don't know about started it, but provoked it because he took off his shirt like he was ready to fight. I don't know why that skinny little comic took off his shirt to fight this sumo wrestler guy, but he did.
that guy wasn't no skinny. No, he's not. He's a pretty big guy. He's actually taller than me, bigger than me. He's no. He was. It would have been probably a good match. I don't know.
I don't know. He's not big compared to that guy. He's definitely not that big. That's for sure. But Mista See stepped in to break up the fight, and he ended up getting shoved across the room, and like he weighs 20 pounds.
Yeah, Mista See flew like a feather. You know, he had the freaking.
Yeah, right here where we're standing. Right here where we're standing. It looks like they took out the fan. They cleaned this place up. I kind of miss the old decor. Anyway, if you guys are listening, you can hear Tommy Morris is playing guitar in the background and singing. And we have that every show before our show starts, getting people warmed up and entertained. So we'll have that for a little while. And thank you guys for tuning into the Dive Bar Comedy Podcast. We have a lot of great comics coming up.
Hey guys, looking for a tent? You need a tent for storage. You need a tent for your wedding. You need a tent for your party. You need a tent because you have no garage. Well, log on to webtentsale.com. webtentsale.com and browse around. See what you want. See what fits your needs. Once again, webtentsale.com. webtentsale.com or call 1-877-918-TENT.
All right, we have our first comic right here. We got Cesar Ruiz and
Ruiz.
Cesar Ruiz. So what's up, Cesar? How you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for inviting me to the show here, and I'm be happy to be performing tonight. I'm kind of people look at me. I'm a Latino comic, but I'm actually look really white, so it confuses a lot of people when they hear the name. It's kind of cool. I mean, it just means that I'm a designated driver for all my Mexican cousins. So whenever I get pulled over, I got to be the one in the driver's seat. You know, it's pretty cool. I'm like the parole officer. You got to pretend I'm a parole officer.
Yeah, I noticed that myself. I noticed that, but you have a great accent. And by the way, I'm Wild Joe. You already know GT. Yeah, you say your name so well. Where are you from originally?
Well, I was born in Pomona. My parents crossed the border and got me right into the U.S. citizen part, just in time. So yeah, I'm their anchor baby.
Are you really an anchor baby?
Nah. They all had their papers and stuff. They all came on the right way. You know, they got on the airplane, just decided not to come back. Yeah, I grew up speaking Spanish and English. Cool thing is though that I look white, so you know, I get all the benefits from looking white.
Speaking of Spanish and English, that's called Spanglish. Were you around when Gerardo did that song Rico Suave?
Yes, I was around. I'm in my 30s. Yeah, I also wore the leather jacket with no shirt underneath, except I had man titties, so it wasn't that sexy. So, yeah.
Was that a big thing with the English and Spanish? Like that was like the first Spanglish song. Would you say that was like a big thing in the community here?
Yeah, I think they all, you know, all the ladies liked it. You know, there was that, I don't know if it's called the brown invasion. I guess whenever we come over, it's a brown invasion, but, you know, like the Beetle invasion. Yeah, I think all the girls liked it. Got a lot more attention from white chicks, but, you know, I did anyways because I look white anyways, but, you know, guys like AC Slater and stuff like that. Chicks like the nice brown-looking guys, and they hear me over the phone. They're like, oh, I can speak with an accent, but then they see me in real life. They're like, oh, you're just like mayonnaise white, you know, like stuff like that.
You can kind of cross over. You can kind of dip your toes in both worlds and like a spy.
Exactly, yeah. When I don't want people to know, I just don't mention anything. Like, I want good service at a restaurant or something like that, or if I want to know they're fucking with my food, you know, I don't speak Spanish, and then at the end, I'm like, I saw you, motherfuckers. And I tell them in Spanish, you know, that they've been fucking with my food or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of scary. People fucking with your food.
Yeah, you know, you go to a Chinese restaurant, there's nothing but Mexicans in the back, you know, cooking your food. So, you know, I could overhear what they're talking about, you know, so I just keep it low key that I'm not Latino. You know, I'm like you said, I'm an undercover Mexican.
You know what? You're right. It's always Mexicans cooking food, no matter, even if you're Japanese. Some Japanese restaurants have, you know, sushi chefs that are Japanese, but you're right. So when people say, do you like Mexican food, that's pretty much all food in LA.
For sure, definitely. Like, if I go to Benihana and I see a Mexican guy cooking my food, I'm like, no, I'm not going to tip your ass. I want a real Japanese guy at Benihana chopping up the shit, you know. But pretty much every other restaurant, yeah, Latinos are in the back cooking the food. So I use it to my advantage.
You think Latinos will hate on you because you're Latino?
No.
I mean, start spitting in your food?
I think if I like fuck with them, yeah. Not fuck with them, but like, you know, like I'm one of those Yelpers, which I call professional complainers. You know, and if you Yelp a bad place and they see you over and over again, they'll mess with your food, and they might say it in Spanish to each other. But you know, that's why I don't let them. That's why I don't speak Spanish in front of other Latinos.
Wait a second. You're giving like a 1 and 2 star reviews on Yelp?
Yeah, I'm one of those assholes that like to. I call them professional complainers. But yeah, I give it. I'm fair with my reviews. If a place is really good, I review good places. A lot of people on Yelp just go to complain and always give 1 stars. You know, I'm even. If there's a good place, I'll give it a good Yelp.
You can actually see people's whole history of reviews. So for those 1 star people that are just doing 1 star, 1 star, 1 star every time, you just know that's a negative person. So that's good. You mix it up.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. Those people are just there to complain and bitch. You can't trust their opinion because they're only there whenever something bad happens. You gotta do with the good as well. You know, you gotta compliment those good businesses as well. You know, dive bars like this, and you know, places where you get good service. Otherwise, I don't trust your opinion. You're just the complainer.
Yeah, Lotus Lounge, best dive bar in the world. Exactly. But yeah, we've tried Yelp. I used to think Yelp was very fair, and I used to really listen to their reviews a lot. But GT fell into the trap of advertising on Yelp and had a negative experience.
Yeah, I had people like I kept on spending money and not getting as much business, so I lost like thousands and thousands of dollars.
And you know what they do to businesses is they pretend there's like this place for like unverified reviews or whatever. If you don't keep paying, like it's like the mafia. They want you to pay them more and more and more, and if you don't pay them enough, they'll take away like half your reviews and say, oh, these are unverified, and they hide them, and it goes against your average. So you could have a whole bunch of reviews, and then all of a sudden they just go missing.
That's right. I never thought about that. They are kind of like the mafia. You're right. It's like the Silicon Mafia. You know, exactly. They get you by the balls. You're like, you're going to pay up, or else we'll leave these on post up that are bad. That's a very good take on that. I never thought about it that way.
No, they really do that. They call over and over, harassing, like advertise, and then when you do, it's like, give us more, or else your reviews they're just disappearing.
Oh yeah, it first starts off at $300-something a month, $369, and then once they see you getting a lot of reviews, the price goes up, and then after a while you're paying $5,000 a month, and then they're like, if you don't pay the $5,000, they take away your reviews.
That's very crazy. I never really thought about it the way, like you guys said. Like, I know it's a racket. I guess everything's a racket. Every business is a racket, and especially when you have everybody's opinions. I mean, that's, you know, what people think of you is what you are. And if nothing but negative reviews are about you, I mean, as a comic, you know, a couple guys don't like you and they voice their voice the loudest, you're gonna get a bad rap. You know, like with all this Me Too stuff and stuff. If guys, they think that's the type of comic you are, that's just one-sided, and they go up online and they just talk shit about you. It's not right, you know. People need to get both sides of the story, and I think a lot of times on Yelp they just get one side.
Yeah, and Yelp, it's rigged. I always thought it was fair and even, and I always based my restaurant choices on Yelp, and then I found out I was rigged. But you got to have a business to even find out.
What about YouTube? Comments. I see a lot of comedians who are regulars at the Comedy Store, and I watch their YouTube videos, and then I see nothing but negative comments. A lot of them. I mean, like a lot of negative comments. What do you think about that?
Oh, dude, you know, it kind of sucks because you put yourself out there as a comedian, and you got all these people that are probably living in their mom's basement and shit or something like that, and all they do is critique, but they never get the guts enough to go up on stage and try it. And a lot of times it's a work on progress, and you maybe put it up, and people are like, you know, downing on you. But yeah, I totally see what you mean. You know, you can't always trust what's online. You really have to just get out there in the real world and go see live comedy. And, you know, come out, support live comedy. Judge for yourself in person. You know, what somebody says online is not, you know, a true, what they might say in person. But, you know, with that cloak of anonymity, you know, people talk shit when nobody could see you. So I totally agree with that on you know, it's, you're not hearing the full voice of everybody. You're just hearing the complainers.
It's more like, YouTube is more like a dive bar. It's like you got a lot of hecklers. I feel like they're writing negative comments.
Yeah, they're internet hecklers.
they're more like it's like in a way they're heckling behind a computer.
Yeah, and they give the thumbs down too. If you only have a few views, and then two people go on there, or one person goes on there with two different accounts and gives you thumbs downs, that really gets to GT for sure.
Yeah, it's like you put out a video and nobody's seen it. It's not really public. You just show it to a few friends, and before you know it, it's like you see like 3 or 4 negatives, thumbs down. I'm like, how do you get there? I mean, like, who put it?
Exactly. You know what? My mom used to tell me, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. And all these people they're just down on people when, them themselves, they probably don't have the guts to go out there themselves, or just go out there and experience live comedy. It's a different atmosphere when you're behind the computer watching at home. I know, it's just an easy cop-out to say you hate everything. Go out there and enjoy live comedy. Come out to the dive bars, support your local comedians. You got to get out into the real world and, just out of the computer. It's good for you. It's good for your brain. Check out the real world. That's what I say about all these complainers online.
Yeah, I agree. That's great advice. So, what have you been doing as far as comedy in LA? You're doing a lot of shows, or you working on any like TV, trying to get on TV or anything like that?
I'm from the Inland Empire, so I do a lot of shows out there. Orange County as well. Actually, I'm a host at the Brea Improv, a door host. So I get to meet a lot of the comedians afterwards. I recently, Rigo Torres asked me to do a show for him. He's one of Felipe's openers, Felipe Esparza's. He asked me to do a show out in Riverside. That was fun. I get to know and meet a lot of people. I met like Fluffy, people like that as a door host in Brea. And they've all been real nice, giving me a lot of advice. I haven't met a single bad comedian who has been a jerk to me at all. Adam Ray's been really cool. Met with him the other day. It's a really nice experience with all these guys. And really a lot of these traveling comics, they just want to make friends with everybody who's in the clubs. They're very happy to talk to people because they're on the road a lot and, away from families and stuff. And you realize that comics are just like human beings afterwards. If you heckle them afterwards, of course it gets to them. But they just want to make friends, and everybody I've met so far in the business has been really nice.
Well, I love the Brea Improv. That's not too far out of LA, and I haven't even thought about that place in a long time.
The improv, the management at improv, and flappers, they don't really. They tell comedians you can't heckle, you can't be a dick. So that's the kind of you haven't really been to the other comedy clubs to really see what's it like, I guess.
I worked at Flappers in the Inland Empire, the one in Claremont, which I think they're closing down for repairs. I'm not sure if they're reopening. We try to keep the guests from heckling. We had Norm Macdonald on before the Me Too controversy, and he was pretty cool. We had Tom Arnold, which I guess a lot of people don't like. A lot of people were trying to protest against that because he has those PP tapes, whatever, against Trump and stuff. And his show was a little bit harsh.
They were hating on him because of the tapes?
Some people were walking out, and just some people were, it wasn't everybody's cup of tea. But, when you go to a comedy club and you know who the guest is, you got to kind of have to expect, what the subject matter is going to be about.
That sounds great that you get to meet so many famous comics there. I didn't even think about it, but yeah, Brea Improv is probably a great place to meet a lot of people.
Yeah, we just have a new location. We moved down the street from the other one that we were at. We're larger. We sit like 650 to 550 now. So we were hoping to get bigger names and stuff like that. It's a great venue if you guys ever want to come out. A little bit more theater style. I know a lot of comedy clubs are a little bit more intimate, smaller. Now the performers are more on a higher stage, and we're hoping to have a lot more acts. But like I said, it's been a great experience. Every time I see a comic, I ask them, what can you think I could improve on? It's always a learning process. The minute that you stop learning from other comedians, it's like you should be on top. You should be Dave Chappelle or something like that. So I take advice from anybody. Constructive criticism, I always call it. I don't like tearing down people. I don't mind something helpful towards another person. So that's always good. And everybody's been really constructive. So it's really nice.
Do they have a small room too, and open mics and that kind of thing, or it's just the big room? And do they let you, since you work there, they let you perform in the big room in front of everybody?
No, they haven't let me perform yet. I still go out to, the dive bars and if I could like piggyback on somebody who's opened up there before, I try, but I don't try to bug the actual comedians too much. We're hoping to get an open mics pretty soon. They just have to make it feasible for the club. Every club needs to make money. So, there's other open mics I go to in Orange County. very popular ones like the Anchor Bar and Harps Inn, stuff like that. I noticed there's a different scene, though. LA's a little bit grittier. Orange County's slightly different. And then I do the Inland Empire, which doesn't have as much open mics to go to. But I've noticed the difference between all three counties. It's definitely different.
Well, that's good. You get around.
Yeah, I get around, not like sexually or anything like that. I don't have any STDs.
That's good.
So you're more like an Inland Empire OC kind of comic, and you're that kind of a bug out there.
Yeah, I want to come out more to LA. Definitely I want to be prepared when I come out to LA, because I know it's a lot of times you may be in front of somebody in the industry, an agent or something. So I want to test out my tried and true material, and then, come here with my best material, just so that I put on a good face and a good act for the people that, could really advance you in your career.
This is great. It makes me want to go to the Inland Empire, which it's really hard to make me want to go to the Inland Empire. But anyway, our listeners, where can people find you online, and what should they look out for?
I have an Instagram. That dude is Cesar.com, or that dude is Cesar Ruiz. You can look me up at Cesar Ruiz on Facebook. You could come to the Improv in Brea. I'll be one of the door hosts. I'm usually cracking jokes with the people, trying to make them feel comfortable on the way in. Pretty much I'll be kicking around other local mics in Orange County, and then Flappers. I try to do that as many times as I can. Flappers in Burbank.
Awesome. All right. Well, we look forward to hearing your set tonight.
Oh, thank you very much, guys. Thanks for having me.
Cesar Ruiz, thanks a lot, man.
Hey, ladies, are you looking for hot deals on sexy styles? Check out everydaysweetheart.com. Everyday Sweetheart, where you can find the most sexy fashions for going out, club wear, or just to show off for your loved ones. So check out everydaysweetheart.com and get 10% off with deal code TAKE10, TAKE10, take 10. Thanks a lot.
I come from a long line of white-looking Mexicans, so white that when we came across the border, the guy just said, "Fuck it, go on." Looks like you left your wallets at home.
It's Wild Joe.
I am the firstborn. I am the firstborn in the United States. I'm my parents' anchor baby. Not because they needed me to stay in the country, but because I've been weighing them down for years.
Hey, Wild Joe. I'm here with GT.
Yeah. Being white has its benefits, mostly the benefit of the doubt when I get pulled over by the cops. A lot of times I got to be the designated driver for my browner skin family members, anytime we go through Arizona or any southern states. I got a gay cousin who just came out of the closet, lives in Arizona. He's a gay Mexican immigrant, illegally living in Arizona. So I can't wait to see who's going to play him on Law & Order Special Victims Unit. This is a good room so far, thanks. Trying to not address the elephant in the room with that fight earlier, but that was crazy as fuck. Oh boy, let's see. I recently saw my doctor the other day. He told me I had one of the worst cases of gynecomastia he's ever seen. I was like, "Doc, give it to me straight. What the fuck does gynecomastia mean?" He goes, "Cesar, you got bitch tits, man boobs," and then he proceeded to motorboat me. He's like, "Oh." I was like, "Thanks, Doc. Thanks for telling me something I didn't find out in the 8th grade trip to Raging Waters." That year, the boys were so mean, but the girls were so jealous. On the plus side, my girlfriend has been asking to do more things with me, so now we just go out bra shopping together. It's kind of nice. Oh boy. My doctor's kind of a dick on the way out. He's like, "Cesar, watch out for those double doors. Once an innie and an outie, like your nipples." And then he called me Ariel Grande, which I thought was fucked up. Oh, geez. Now that I lost all the weight, it's kind of cool. I've been able to fit into a lot of things I haven't been able to fit into before, like society. Yeah. Before I used to go to the mall, the only thing that would fit me was a Cinnabon. I was able to test drive one of those smart cars, so it was kind of fun. I just was able to fit into one and test drive it to a supermarket. Cool thing about a smart car was when you test drive it in the supermarket, you don't have to find a parking spot. You just put it in the grocery cart returns. Being a Mexican American is pretty cool though, but there's never not a party to go to on the weekend when you're Mexican. There's always somebody's birthday, quinceañera, baptism. My favorite ones are the quinceañeras because if you time it just right, you only have to buy one gift for her and her baby shower. That one hits. All right, guys. Thanks, man. Oh, man. This is a great establishment. I like that they don't have the ass gaskets in the toilets here. I recently learned that I've been using the ass gaskets wrong the whole time. That little head-shaped part you're supposed to actually leave on so that your dick doesn't touch the rim. All this time I've been teabagging toilets and shit, going raw dog on them. I don't know if I gotta call up all the girlfriends I've been with, see if they have some kind of toilet STD. I don't know what the protocol is for that. It's kind of weird. Like, that's the shit they should be teaching you in health class instead of having to use a condom, you know? I think every guy knows basically how to use a condom. There's no guy that's going to be misusing a condom, rolling it, and tying it around their dick like a chick on a period with a sweater. Seriously, guys. Oh, boy. Let's see what else I have here, guys. I realize some guys that have erectile dysfunction, maybe you just don't have erectile dysfunction. Maybe you're just gay. You know? Maybe the chick should like test it. Ladies, if you have a guy who has erectile dysfunction, test it out. Ask the guy, call him on the phone, ask him if he wants to do anal. And if he gets really excited about it, tell him on the way home, stop by, pick up some lube. But if he gets home with a strap-on dildo, he's probably gay. Let's see. How much time I got here, JT? I am, is anybody timing this shit? I don't know. Fuck it. Does somebody have like an oven timer on this stuff? I've done the funerals that have been more lively than this fucking shit.
It's been like 5 minutes.
It's been 5 minutes. All right, I got about 2 more minutes. If any ladies want to have sex, I can do it maybe twice, 3 times. I'm not sure. It's been fun though, guys. Let's see here. What else do I got for you guys? Let's see. I did a quinceanera joke. I don't know what else I have. I have about 3 cats. I'm a lonely motherfucker. I don't like having cats though because they're kind of like prostitutes. They only come near you when you have food or something to give them. I feel like they just use me. My cat always looks at me like I'm some fucking John. Only wants to pet me if I have money or fucking food. I like dogs. Dogs are great, especially if you have peanut butter on your balls. You know, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get some time back to the room. I'm not sure if it's an open mic or not. But this is fucking great. I love it. I'll be definitely coming back to some GT shows. They're fucking hilarious. Thanks, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and go catch a suicide. See you guys. Thanks. Another round of applause for Cesar Ruiz.
Hey, a big thanks to all our listeners and a very special thanks to all our fans who came out to check out our last show at Universal Bar and Grill. Universal Bar and Grill in North Hollywood, where they carry Global Vodka. Our sponsor, Global Vodka, it's 100% gluten-free, smooth finish, great taste from Italy. And Global Vodka, you can check it out at global-vodka.com or come see us live and have a taste for yourself. All right, we are back with the Dive Bar Comedy, and we have an awesome comic here, David Jackson. What's up, David?
How's it going, guys?
So tell me, David Jackson, what's going on with you? You guys, what got you into comedy, man?
I'd say just like actually it was in like high school and college. Just like I'd punch up all my speeches, like on like my little the little 5-minute speeches. I ended up punching those up a lot, and then in college I ended up going to like an open mic. I started at an open mic and at Mizzou. I can hold it if you want. Okay.
Well, all right. I have a question, though. Why are you doing 5-minute speeches?
That's what the school required.
For what? What class is this?
For a speech, like a speech class in college.
Oh, so you did funny speeches in your speech class.
Yeah, I just started off doing funny speeches, and then I found like an open mic at actually a local dive bar in my hometown or my college town. And I just started going there every week. I was back in Missouri.
In Missouri? Oh, so there are a lot of comics. There's a lot of comics out there in Missouri?
There's a weird niche like comedy crew that just like hangs out in Columbia, Missouri. Yeah, it's crazy.
Did you say you did? What, you mentioned a zoo? Did you mention a? Did I hear zoo?
Mizzou, like Mizzou. It's the college in Missouri.
Oh, Mizzou. That's what you say? Is that what you say Mizzou? But you mean Missouri? Yeah. Missouri. All right.
And the U stands for university.
Okay, Mizu. Okay, all right. Mizu. Okay.
GT's still learning English.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm still learning English too. It's kind of a crazy language.
When I first came to the United States from Armenia, I couldn't speak one word of English. I couldn't express myself. I had to use my fingers. Yes.
He's still using his fingers. Quite a lot. And you don't want to smell those fingers. I'm afraid I'm even touching this mic. That's why I didn't make you hold the mic.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I was wondering. I was like, I can hold the mic, but yeah, I don't like dirty finger lips.
Yeah, now you know, David. I was actually doing you a favor.
But I feel like all comics have herpes anyways, just from doing so many open mics that it probably doesn't even matter at this point.
Yeah, microphones are some of the dirtiest things that I've ever encountered, and if you really smell deep inside a microphone, it's something that will make you just want to stop breathing for a long, long time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure microphones are way dirtier than dicks. Like, I keep my dick pretty clean, and I've never seen any host so as wipe down a microphone. So.
Well, I don't spend a lot of time in urinals, but probably a lot of guys don't wipe down their dick either.
They shake it. They shake it off, right? Yeah. They dab it.
Yeah, we dabble.
This conversation is really highbrow, but we are at the Liquid Zoo. It's kind of a divey place. Have you ever performed in a dive bar before, David?
I started doing comedy in a dive bar called Eastside Tavern in Missouri, and it was weird, the bar, because the whole theme of the bar was just like weird, scary shit. So the walls and the ceilings were all lined with like Chucky dolls and like coffins and like remnants of mummies and just weird stars of Satan and Ouija boards. They were just everywhere in this bar, and that was kind of where I started doing comedy.
And that's cool for Halloween, but I don't know. The rest of the year, it's a little much.
How was the scene? Were people friendly, or were they like heckling?
It was actually a pretty friendly room. It was a very, very dirty room, though. Like, no one held back material in that. Like, people were doing rape jokes. A lot of fucking your mom joke. Like, that shit was just normal to me. So when I started going out and doing mics in like Chicago, people were like frightened and thrown back by my comedy because I gotten so used to that room. That was the only room in Missouri that it was like available around Columbia.
Well, it was probably the Chucky dolls' influence on the comics.
Gotta be. I mean, yeah, I guess being around some weird ass shit can inspire some weird ass comedy.
So Chicago's more conservative.
Yeah, you know what? I went in there thinking it was gonna be like a liberal town. Like, it's my first like out of town open mic, and yeah, they were not. Maybe a little too liberal. Maybe like hyper liberal.
So you can't get away with dirty jokes in Chicago?
No fucking way.
Wait, so by liberal you mean you can't do dirty jokes, or you can?
By liberal, I mean you can't do dirty jokes there. They were just like, it was very. You guys know the mic scene in like East Hollywood, right?
That's where we are.
Not this part of East Hollywood. I mean, like UCB, some of those. There's some rooms over there. Like, that's the kind of vibe I got doing the Chicago. It's a very like, I'm doing a monocle right with my eye right now.
Sort of like storytelling, very intelligent jokes.
Like rich kids who want to feel bad about being rich. So they are very self-deprecating, like that kind of jokes.
Okay, so liberal, the word liberal is like kind of like loose and anything goes, but you're kind of right. Liberals nowadays are hypersensitive to things, like you can't do gay jokes or anything, fat jokes, or God forbid handicap jokes or anything like that.
Right, it's true. I mean, I consider myself a liberal person, like politically speaking, but I think there's a line where it's like, I mean, we're now getting so liberal that there's no more like free speech even in a comedy room.
Which is not what the word liberal is originally intended to mean.
It's super weird and like backwards, I think.
All right, I get what you're saying, man. It's like I'm a dirty comic, and sometimes when I first started out, people were always kind of like, "Oh, wow, he's funny," but they don't want to be seen laughing. You know what I mean? You know? It's like, oh, I don't want to laugh to that, but I can't stop laughing. And, you know, it's like they don't want to admit to it.
Yeah, I mean, when I moved to Los Angeles, I just kind of wiped my whole set, whatever I'd been doing for the past couple of years, because it was all about like porn and my feelings after watching porn and sex and this and that. And I was like, that's not working here. So I just started with a clean slate when I got to LA.
It's good to do that sometimes. Start with a clean slate. And actually, a lot of comics start off dirty, and then as they progress, they're then able to find the humor in more clean things, because anybody could just say a dirty word or talk about something disgusting and make some people laugh because they're uncomfortable, but they're really not necessarily that funny.
Right. And even then, like, whenever I was doing the comedy, because I knew other dirty comics, I felt like I was really saying funny. I still think it was funny material. Like, I didn't feel like I was being a shock factor comic.
That's good. That's good. So, what do you guys, what do you, David, what are you working on now in LA, and where can people find you online?
Well, right now in LA, I'm just working on getting up in as many rooms as possible as far as stand-up comedy goes. So, you know, dive bars, VFWs, stages, cafes, whatever. And you can find me on Instagram, Original David Jackson, Twitter, Original Ajax. And you can find me in these streets doing comedy pretty much anywhere.
Awesome. Awesome.
David Jackson, man, it was a pleasure having you on, and hopefully we'll see you out there, and wish you the best.
All right, look forward to hearing your set. Hey, if any of you are in the LA area and you have slippery floors, don't be liable for slip and fall accidents on your floor. Check out tightgripla.com. tightgripla.com. Slip-proofing solutions for any tile floor. Entryways, bathrooms, kitchens, restaurants, you name it. Check out tightgripla.com.
All right, we on to the next motherfucker coming up to the stage. Another brilliant comedian. He's a DJ. Check his DJ. Go DJ. So put your hands together and show some love for the man with the mom and the day at the beginning of the name. For Mr. Damon Jackson. Thank you for that dope ass intro. That was like a strip club DJ intro. You're good at that, man. I do that, by the way. That's all I know. You can be a strip club DJ. You be a good one.
It's my life goal.
Yeah, I can get you a job. We'll talk later. Guys, I know what I look like right now. I didn't realize it until I took a shit in the bathroom earlier. I look like a racist black guy. I assure you, I am not a racist black guy. I love black people. I love white people. I grew up in Missouri, though, so this happens naturally. The camo hat, whatever. My name's David. My full name's David Clayton Jackson. It's the two whitest names followed by the blackest name. Like Clayton is literally the whitest name in the book. You know, like if Carl Tanner from Fresh Prince was white, he'd be Clayton. That's how white Clayton is. My mom really tried to whiten me up. You know, I was raised by a single white mother. She tried to raise me that way. She was like, you know, maybe this name will get him some interviews. I think that's what she was thinking. She whitened Dave up a little bit. Put some David Clayton in there, but Jackson still snuck in there. Jackson is the blackest name of all time. Jackson's so black. When I was a little kid, because I'm the baby of 9 brothers and sisters, so there's hella Jacksons in my family. When I was a little kid, I thought all Jacksons were black. It made sense to me. I was 8. I was listening to Michael Jackson for the first time, figuring out about the Jackson 5. I was like, oh, this makes sense. There's a lot of all black people must be Jacksons. All Jacksons must be black people. I get it. So I grew up listening to, I'll be jamming out to Alan Jackson when I was younger. I thought I was supporting the movement. Well, this dude's got bars. He's got a name like mine, Alan Jackson. Clayton Jackson, Alan Jackson, you know. As a 9-year-old, I'm singing country bars, thinking I'm hot as shit. Nah. That was embarrassing. My mom tried to brainwash me. All my brothers were making fun of me. All my black friends were making fun of me. I never quite got onto that cool train. Like even today, like when rap songs come on, I'm the guy, I sing the female hook on the rap songs. Okay? Like when Beyonce, like if Drunken Love comes on, I'll sing the Beyonce part every time. I got friends that sing the Jay-Z part. It's cute. So, did anyone else ever seen a hot homeless person before?
Yeah.
Yeah? Woo! I saw a hot ass homeless chick 2 days ago. Will not forget her, guys. I mean, she had these pink shorts on, thick booty. She had abs because she was starving, you know. Beautiful. Golden brown tan because she lives outside. Real lovely lady. I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, because if she looks this good and she's homeless, I'm like, imagine what I could do if I could give her like a makeover, you know, little pedicure. You know the show like Queer Eye for the Straight Guy? I just want to do that, but to her. I was like, man, give me 2 days, I could turn both our lives around. She'd be grateful, do me favors and shit. I wouldn't enslave a hot homeless person, guys, just so you know. Just drugs. I like this bar. It reminds me of Missouri. I grew up in a bar like this called Strange's. Same setup. Just playing pool with my mom while drunk white guys hit on her. It's pretty fun. It's a good childhood, you know. Been living in Los Angeles for about 2 years now. Thank you. Appreciate that, yeah. I'm learning a lot of things about Los Angeles. It's really interesting. Like, for example, you can tell what kind of neighborhood you're in by the type of chips that are available. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if Flamin' Hot Cheetos are available, you're probably in a rough area. So that's a little bit of a rough one. I'm cool with Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I get nervous when I see the other types of Flamin' Hot chips. Like, when I see Flamin' Hot Funyuns, I freak out. I'm like, oh, we gotta get the fuck out of here. I know what happens in Flamin' Hot Funyun neighborhoods. It's not for me. Definitely not for me. It's a little too hood. However, if you're in a convenience store and you see like organic sun chips, it's probably a decent neighborhood. The rent's probably high, probably pretty safe. If they got organic chips. Or like baked Cheetos, oven baked Cheetos. Pretty safe neighborhood, guys. Pretty safe. One thing that's been bothering me lately, have you guys seen these big pink, like bright pink vans with beautiful women painted on the side of them, and it says "Secret Rendezvous"? Okay, so these are just mobile hookers, I'm assuming. Just mobile hookers that will come to your house. Here's my problem with the business, guys. It's Secret Rendezvous. If there's a large pink van parked outside of your apartment building with a beautiful woman on the side of it, that is not a secret rendezvous. Everybody knows exactly what you're doing with that van, or with the contents of that van. Also, why does it need a whole van? Like, did this have a van full of hookers? Is it just one girl? Like, what do we need the whole? Is there like tools back there? A bed? Yeah, I guess if like a homeless dude calls, he can like hop in the back. He saves like he spends his life saving on a secret rendezvous. I just thought maybe they just got like different selections that we can swap out or something. I don't know. You figure it out. What else we got? Oh, got it. Best part. So, thank you. 1 minute, yeah. So guys, I'm a DJ at a strip club. It's a pretty cool job. I like it a lot. But I didn't get a lot of respect when I started working there. Yeah, I thought it'd be cool, like some Magic Mike, but I'm just like the way less cool version of Magic Mike. Because I just play the music. I'm just the DJ. So I didn't get respected when I started working there. It's kind of a hood strip club, and they clown me whenever I got there, guys. Have you guys seen that movie? Bring It On, Crenshaw Heights. We go to the high school in the hood. Beyonce's sister is the captain of the cheerleading team. That's what it was. Except I'm Hayden Panettiere. They just clown me, guys. This one dancer told me her name was Light Skin Killer. Made me nervous. All right, guys. I'll leave you guys on this one. Guys, what sounds better? DJ at a strip club or a strip club DJ? Strip club DJ. Thank you. I'm trying to figure out how to tell my mom. Haven't gotten that far yet. All right, someone come take this microphone. You guys have been awesome. Keep drinking. I'm gonna keep drinking. Here you go, man. Good job. Another round of applause for David Jackson, the strip club DJ, for the DJ at the strip club. Good joke, good joke, good joke.
Hey guys, you need carpet, hardwood floors, laminate, tile, luxury floors. Log on to selectflooring.biz. You will get all the support you need. And if you need installation, ask for it. Once again, log on to selectflooring.biz for your flooring needs.
They call it Gunsmoke City, maybe not. He also done a lot of work with talent such as Tiffany Haddish, the Skip Bags, and even me myself, but I ain't shit. So let's get this man up here so he can lay you out 2 times and show some love for the Z guy, Mr. Cesar Johnson. Clap up for y'all hosts, Carl. Clap it up for him. Clap it up for y'all fucking hosts. I needed you. I had hosted a fucking a jiu-jitsu fight at the LA Convention Center for all Brazilian people and shit, right? But it was people from Abu Dhabi throwing this shit, right? And I hosted this shit. I had to bring the athletes out, but it's all like Spanish thing. That shit was hard as fuck. I'm like, Enrico Costa! I needed you for that shit, yo. I said, Enrico Sosa. Like, no, you got to stretch the name, stretch the name. I'm like, alright, fuck it, I'll quit. What's up, man? Y'all good? You know, it's only like 5 of us in this motherfucker. We ain't got shit else to do. One people at the bar, they just talking for no goddamn reason. Him dude at the bar like, so, how you been all day? I'm like, I don't even know you, motherfucker. I've been good. Like, motherfucker know you. Just be nice to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of being nice, man, I got a gay cousin, man, that I live with, man. That's gotta be the scariest thing in the world, man. I live with him, man, and it's hard because I'll be hearing him having sex all the time. It's the worst thing in the world hearing a gay dude have sex. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard my cousin's a bottom dude. I mean, he get fucked. So all one night he like, oh yeah, give it to me, Jim. Give it to me, Jim. Hell yeah, boy. Ah, come on, you can do it better than that. Come on, go deeper, Jim. Ah, yeah, there you go, Jim. One more time, Jim. You want one more time, Jim? Oh, yeah! I think you can do it, motherfucker. One more time for that money, Jim. Give it to me, Jim. Oh, that's the bullshit. I was scared of motherfucker, yo. I thought it was one trying to break in the crib. Like, Jim, give it to me, Jim. What the fuck? You can't break in the crib? What the fuck? And I hang with that motherfucker too, man. He hang with all his gay homies and shit. That's the crazy shit in the world when you hang with gay people and shit. And I try to judge him because like he's my gay cousin. I want to hang out with this motherfucker and shit. But I hate because he hang with all gay motherfuckers. Like, is that your cousin? Is that your cousin? Is that your cousin? But they be staring at me and shit. They be looking at me hard. They be super hard in my face, man. And I try to look him in the eye. Because you look at gay dude in the eye, you automatically gay. You know what I'm saying? Gay automatically. You just, so they be like, how you doing, Zell? I'm good. What you about to do? I'm about to go home, you know? Can you talk to me? No, I'm looking down, man. You look at gay dude, gay, you just stuck automatically. Just gay for no damn reason. Okay. That's one. You know, I heard an old song, man. Number one bites the dust. Wait, hold on a second. You know, I forgot my code to my phone. Hold on. Okay, there we go. And I live with a girl now. That's the crazy shit in the world, man. Do not live with a girl, man. I feel like I'm a escaped slave that got caught living with her ass and shit. And all I remember the time that somebody could text me and nobody said, "Who is that? Who is that?" I hate that shit, man. But now she feel comfortable, like, you know, when she little, she feel like she could talk about one of my family members all of a sudden and shit. You know, every day for like 2 years, she feel like she talk about one of my family members and shit, right? So I come to the crib, 3 o'clock in the morning, mind my business, had a good time with my boy, and I sit on the couch, like, boom, what's up? She like, look at you, nigga. You ain't shit. You just like a trifling ass daddy. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, bitch, you don't even know my goddamn daddy. I don't even know my daddy. How you gonna talk about something I don't know, goddamn it? I was trying to pick up to school a long time ago. Can't do it no bitch no more, man. Another thing too, I'm from Chicago, man. I'm from straight from Chicago. Chicago, I don't give a fuck. I'm in LA, man. The thugs in LA nice as fuck, yo. They nicer than Chicago thugs and shit, right? I had a motherfucking Cubs hat on, big ass C, and I was going to the store, and there was some bloods outside. I didn't know what the fuck going on. I'm just trying to give you some shit, you know, and get the fuck out of here. And they all had red on and shit. And you know, you see, you got the car, you can't just break away, because you break away, you like a little bitch. I'm like, man, nigga, fuck y'all, nigga, I'm about to go in here and get the fuck I'm gonna get, right? You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I'm like that, but I'm like this, like, I'm like, what the fuck? What's gonna happen to shit, right? And this thug was like, hey homie, hey homie, hey homie, without due respect, my nigga, I'm about to fuck you up unless you take the hat off. I'm like, damn, nigga, thank you for telling me before you gonna beat my ass, my nigga. Thank you for telling me. I appreciate you, bro. You want something to say? I want some Doritos, something, Coke, chip, anything, you know? Yeah, I really got my shit and shit, man. I think a lot of less murders, if people say without due respect, you know what I'm saying? Hey, rob you without respect, you give me a walk, I'll fuck you up. Oh, God, he took it out. Yeah, all my shit up. I got a lying-ass cousin, man. He just got fired from his job about a month ago, but then he still got his like work uniform, his profile pic. I'm like, nigga, stop lying, nigga, you got fired. He still got his uniform on, the profile pic like this and shit. And I'm like, cuz, I call right there, cuz. I need to take a picture down, nigga. You got fired for your job and shit. You lying like a motherfucker, man. So I'm all like, you be hanging out with Drake Daddy and shit. You don't know Drake Daddy, so lying, man. Alright, one more we get the fuck out of here. I'm dating a paralyzed girl too, y'all. This bitch is paralyzed from the waist down, you know. And I'm like, I'm on a dating website, man. I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of these regular bitches. I'm tired of all these cute bitches. I'm gonna need something different, right? And what maybe, you know, hit on her because she's talking about she have to go for long walks on the beach. So I'm like, bitch, come on, man. You fucking paralyzed and shit, right? So we be hanging out with each other and shit, and I have to carry her upstairs. I got stairs, I have to carry her like a baby all the time. Like, you ready? Like, you know, sitting down and shit. That's how we get in bed. I had to sit on top of me. You know what I'm saying? We watching TV. Hold on, you know, we have to turn around and shit. We got in an argument the other day, and she was like, Zoe, I'm so fucking tired of you, man. Just like your last girl, you always fucking go out. I'm sick and tired of shit. I'm so fucking tired of shit. I said, bitch, what the fuck wrong with you fucking stupid ass? What the fuck wrong with you and shit, right? She pissed me the fuck off, man. So she called me like yesterday. She's like, what you doing? I'm fucking mad at you. She's like, can you come over and talk? I'm like, where you at? She's like, I'm on the floor. I'm like, bitch. Alright. Worth that enough, you guys. Love what y'all do. Zo, peace up.
Turn a round of applause for Joe Shot Town Johnson.